Guys, can you hear me? Because I am going live on my iPhone because my iPad has decided to die because my Wi-Fi has died. So I'm having to go live on my phone and I don't know if this works. Let me know if you can hear me. Sarah, can you hear me or am I just talking with no sound? Let me know. Guys, can you hear me? Because I know I have trouble doing a speakerphone on Messenger, WhatsApp, etc. Let me know if you can actually hear me, guys. Can you hear me? Because my iPad isn't working. My Wi-Fi seems to have died. Oh, you can hear me? Oh, good. Okay, great. So I'm going to have to do all my Skype calls and Messenger calls today on my phone. How are you guys? What's going on? Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I have a few more calls this afternoon. I'm not going to be able to use my iPad because my Wi-Fi has decided to die. Halfway through my call earlier, it completely died, and I don't want to touch my Wi-Fi and turn it off because the last time I did that, it didn't come back on for 2 fucking days. So I don't want to do that. How are you guys? What's happening? Am I feeling better today, Lois? Thanks, Ellie. Look, I'll tell you what happened with me yesterday. Something happened with me in my SP and it wasn't good. And it was a whole lot of old story that came up. And I realised I'm having real trouble getting rid of the old story about him and me and his old story. And that's why, honestly, any old story is connected to your self-concept. So if you find it really hard to get rid of the old story about them or your relationship, it's all tied into your self-concept. And as my self-concept is about being defective and flawed and having something wrong with me, anything that happens in the story that I can't change is kind of tied to, well, if I can't change this about me, then this is never going to change. Does that make sense? So unfortunately, because I haven't been working enough on my self-concept, this story hasn't gone away enough, and he will say things that affect me in ways that trigger my old self-concept that I still haven't got rid of. So I was on a call today discussing the same thing, and we have a similar issue, this person and I was saying, I've changed so much since I chatted on the 18th, can't thank you enough. Oh, wonderful, Nikki, wonderful. See, my self-concept isn't tied to something like abandonment, which is really about what the other person's going to do. Mine is purely about me and that I will be rejected for me, for exactly who and how I look, who I am and how I look. So because of that, I find the old story of relationships very hard to get rid of, because when I get rejected, it's purely about me. It's not about, oh, my dad abandoned me when I was 5, or someone died when I was young, or it's about I think men are cheats, or viewpoints I have about men that I can easily change. It's about purely myself. So most of my relationships have gone the way they have based on my habitual thinking about myself being flawed. So when something goes wrong in a relationship, I will literally assume it's because of me and perpetuate that story that it won't change because I haven't changed. So yesterday that really triggered me because something came up that made me feel like, oh my God, I've never got rid of this old story, and the old story is tied to my self-concept. And because I've been concentrating so much on the lives and doing this TikTok for the last 8 weeks, my self-concept's kind of gone down the tubes. Not down, I don't feel like it has, but I know I haven't been concentrating on it enough. So my mind has run away with thoughts of shit that I shouldn't be thinking, right? As soon as I get on my negative thoughts, I'm straight on my affirmations. Well, this is what I haven't been doing. So unfortunately, it's gone to shit with my SP because I haven't been working on me, and the way he turned up yesterday was exactly the old story of him, which isn't really him. It's the person I created him as. He's not like this at all. But he was very cold, and it was like, who are you? And I thought, oh my God, I still haven't got rid of this stuff, and I'm telling everybody else to, and I haven't. And what I realized was my connection to the old story of him is so ensconced in the fact that I will not be chosen for me, that he will choose others over me, being alone over me, anything over me, that yesterday it really triggered me the way he was acting. So what I realized was I need to take my focus completely off the other person, because actually it's nothing to do with them at all. Because the person he's turned up as isn't even him. It's like so not like him. It's like another person. Like I'm speaking to another person. And so I had this big realization that, oh my God, because of this TikTok, I've not been concentrating on me, which means I haven't got rid of the old story of him. So if you guys are having really hard time getting rid of old story about the person, if you're getting movement with everybody else, we can outpicture it for you, Loz. You deserve it. We love you. Oh, thanks, Pat. If you're having trouble getting rid of the old story about your person, if you're getting your self-concept's on point with everyone else and you're getting birds before land, all these men coming out the woodwork and women coming out the woodwork and people telling you how great you feel, but it's not happening with them, it's because you haven't got rid of that old story. And the key to that is the old story is tied to how you feel about yourself. Does that make sense? So if they've rejected you or chosen someone over you, and that's the old story, that ties into I'm not chosen, I'm not good enough, right? So it's really hard to get rid of that old story when the old story of you still lingers. Understand? So the old story of me is so... I didn't start dealing with the old story of me until I was in my 40s. Honestly, really started dealing with it. So I feel like I'm really behind the 8 ball in life, that I spent 40 years not dealing with my shit. And I shouldn't look at it that way, like, oh, it's going to take ages. But I do feel like if I had gone to therapy in my teens, when my parents probably should have sent me to therapy, I probably wouldn't be as behind in my self-concept now. But my self-concept is so ingrained, and I kept so many secrets from people my whole life. It affected everything, and it's very hard to undo that shit when you're 43. So, yes, I did have a good cry yesterday, trust me. I had a giant cry. I thought the neighbours might be coming in to check on me. So, yes, I'm 51 and starting this now. Yes, Christina. It's you beat yourself up a bit because you think, when is this going to be over? And this is the conversation I had with my best friend yesterday, the day before. It was funny, it was the day before. She was having a bit of a meltdown and she was saying, when do I get past all my stuff? I'm sick of myself. And I said, oh, you will, not realising that I also felt exactly the same way and hadn't realised it. And that it was, no, actually, I wasn't feeling the same way. I didn't realise it was affecting my life still. Until something happened in the 3D and then I was like, oh, fuck. Right? So what I'm saying is you really need to assess. If you can't get rid of the old story about your SP, if they're not showing up yet, is it because, and it's always because, your self-concept is tied up in that old story. They've chosen someone else because I don't feel chosen. They've left me because people leave and I've got abandonment stuff. I'm defective and flawed, therefore I'm not beautiful enough for them, whatever, which is my stuff. Okay, I'll always be chosen. Someone else will always be chosen over me. Or I'll attract someone who's already in love with someone else and won't choose me. It's almost like my psyche going, please don't choose me. She's never chosen. Please don't. She can't handle it. Right? So what I'm saying is that if you are having trouble, like I am, with getting rid of the old story, it is always tied up in your old story about you. So I am going to do pure self-concept affirmations from now on because I need to change my shit in my mind because it's so stuck there. Loz, you're beautiful inside out. Oh, thank you, darling. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Yes, Neville is with us all, I think. The thing is, guys, it's okay to have a human moment. Yeah, I'm definitely having a human moment. I had a fucking inhuman moment yesterday. I was a mess. But what I'm saying is that when you have these moments, like when you hit a wall, it's a good thing because it makes you assess and go, have I been doing enough about me? Have I been making this all about my specific person, or have I been doing this about me? And I'm such a massive overgiver that even with my mind, I was thinking too much about him, which is what I did through the whole relationship. And I gave all my energy to him, gave so much to him, and built him up from being broken when I met him to this Adonis. And then I'm like, what did I do for me? And I almost feel like I've done this on the TikTok a bit too much, concentrating on this and not concentrating on myself. Because it feels a lot easier to concentrate on other people when you feel not good enough. If you feel like you're helping others, because you don't have to deal with your own stuff. because it's quite confronting to deal with your own stuff. So all I'm saying is, guys, if you're having the same problem I am, I don't want to sit here talking about myself all day, but if you're having the same problem I am with getting rid of the old story about your past history with your SP, it's because of your self-concept being tied up in that. The reason you can't get rid of it is because of the reason you feel about you is in that story. I'm not chosen. I'm not good enough, etc. It's in that story. That's why you can't get rid of it. So you really need to work on the self-concept so that old story can go away. Okay, guys? Now I'm going to answer a question. Sorry, guys. Any questions? All I can see is comments about me. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to bang on about myself, but I thought it might be helpful if there's anyone here who's... I'm 58. Let's do this together. Yes, darling, I know. I wish I'd known this in my teenage years, honestly. And also, I had a family that just didn't deal with my body issues in any way. Like, it wasn't even spoken about. It was kept secret. And so I never dealt with any of my stuff. And I remember going to a plastic surgeon when I was in my mid-20s. And he said, I can't operate on you until you go to a shrink. And I remember being so insulted, as was my mum. And now I think, Christ, I should have been told to go to a shrink when I was 12. I'd be a different person right now. Oh, thanks, Helen. Remember, my mum had a baby at 49. Yes, I do, Pat. Oh, thanks, guys. Any questions, though? Please do send me questions. Last night, I dreamed that my SP texted me. Does that mean anything? Yes, it means you're thinking about them. Your subconscious is thinking about them. Your subconscious is very aware of them. So give it good meaning, guys. Give your dreams always good meaning. Okay? You can give it terrible meaning or bad meaning or good meaning. So give it the good meaning that your subconscious is very aware of your self-concept and your SP affirmations. You're amazing. You are loved. You're the best person. Oh, thank you, darling. Oh, thanks, Stephanie. Thanks, Natalie. Thanks, guys. Yep. Guys, are you still there? It says lost connection. Got me? Yeah, am I still here? Okay, someone just tried to call me, guys. Sorry. So let me just see if you're still here. It's the annoying thing about doing this on a phone. Yes, you're back. Okay, great. Any questions, guys? My old story tried coming back today, and I said, nope, not today, sweetheart. Yeah, wonderful, darling. Wonderful, Nikki. Not today, Satan. Good. It really means a lot when you're being so vulnerable with us. Oh, thanks, Marissa. I wasn't so good at this before I did therapy. Trust me, I could never have done this channel. Could never have told you any of that shit. Please don't cry, Loz. You're a fantastic woman. Oh, thanks, darling. Thanks, guys. Yeah, look, vulnerability is a strength. I remember, I think I've told you guys, I've been the whole way through drama school. My note was, you need to be more vulnerable. You need to be more vulnerable in your acting. And I remember thinking, what the fuck do they mean? I didn't even really know what they meant because I had a very, I love you, bye kind of family. We said we loved each other, we were huggy and kissy and blah, but no one actually expressed their feelings. So if you have a hard time with vulnerability, guys, you probably came from a family like mine that fought a lot, yelled and screamed, and there were the two binary opposites of emotion, but there was no kind of sitting down and saying, I feel sad, I feel lonely, I feel confused. It was just, fuck you, screaming, or happy, or waking up the next day after the fuck you and screaming, and then acting like nothing happened. Which happened a lot in our household, which was this wonderful thing of sweeping everything under the carpet and trying to act like nothing's going wrong, which I did my whole life until I went to therapy. Okay, guys, please give me your questions because I literally can't see them. I messaged my SP with a question mark about his area of expertise an hour ago. He left me on red. Not worried. Oh, good, Christina. Okay. So don't be worried. Loz, why does my SP keep bringing up past things? Is it because I'm thinking that? Well, yes, look, when you revise it, they won't bring up the past things, but when you haven't gone and revised the past, they will bring it up because it's still in the present. The memories are still here. You have to go back and revise it. When my SP and I broke up the first time, I did revise our breakup and he never mentioned it ever again. It was like it never happened. So you've got to go and revise it, darling, otherwise they will bring it up. And you're probably thinking it, not realizing you're thinking about it. Okay? My family's so like that. Yeah, Sarah. Yelled. Yes, my upbringing was the same, which is probably why I keep men at arm's length. Yep, I always did. I've been manifesting my SP for about 4 months now, doing a lot of self-concept affirmations. Let go of the, what? Moon chili, old story, etc. But the 3D is not the way I would want it to be yet. Well, neither was mine, darling. And that's what I had a meltdown about yesterday. And that's what had been the problem with our relationship this whole time, that it wasn't back to where it was. It never got back to where it was after the first time we broke up, and it just threw me. And so, honestly, like, I know it's because I haven't got rid of the old story. So you're going to really need to do that if you've got the same issue as me. You need to get rid of it. And that means working on your self-concept more than anything. I'm trying to ignore the 3D regards to the situation with my family, my mum. Well, guys, sometimes you can't ignore the 3D. Sometimes you've got to look at it and go, oh, well, this is a bit shit. But I'm changing it. Like, guys, it's very hard to ignore the 3D. Like I say, ignore it when it comes to third parties and stuff, but it is almost impossible sometimes. So don't try and ignore it, guys, if it's hard. Just accept it for what it is and know you're changing it. Know you have the power to change it. That's easier sometimes. Okay? Loz, what are the best affirmations in this case? What case, Moody? I'm just trying to see what the case is you're talking about. You mean my case, or what are you talking about? I need to manifest £100,000 in the next few months. How to do that? Well, Jesus Christ. That's a lot. Is it for a house? Is it for something specific? If it's for something specific, I would imagine you have that thing already. The car, the house, whatever. The business is booming. It's already done if it's a business alone. Okay? But if it's the actual amount of money, it must be for something. So money is never that kind of specific amount, guys, unless it's for a bill that needs paying. If it's for a bill that needs paying, imagine the bill is paid. So imagine the end of whatever the situation is. It's not about the money. You need to imagine that whatever the solution of that 100,000 is resolved. Okay? It's like someone says to you, you no longer owe the money, or you are living in the house, therefore you're at the end of that 100,000. However it came about. Okay? I already know he's mine and we talk a lot, but how do I stop myself from saying I miss you? You have to stop yourself from saying that, guys. I mean, you can say it if you want, but it just depends what you're saying. Are you saying it from a loving place or saying it from a fearful place? It's what you're thinking when you say things, guys, not really what you're saying. Can you explain parallel universe in SP community way? SP community. Well, no, all it is just a parallel universe, guys. So everyone's in their own individual universe. I'm in mine, you're in yours, someone else is in theirs, like bowling lanes. And I can move from this one to this one. I can step from the state of married into a new reality where my new reality is married. Okay, that's my parallel reality of mine, and everyone else has their own parallel realities of their own, but each is in their own in their own reality, and then there's parallel versions of you in various realities. Then they have their own reality and various parallel bowling lanes that they can step into. That's why Neville says step into the state of having it already. Then you're literally moving to another parallel reality where you are that person already. You are the millionaire. You are married. Understand? You are a mum if you want to be pregnant. Should I say stay if they keep crossing boundaries? What do you mean crossing boundaries, darling? Someone's crossing boundaries. That's about you. It's not about them. If they're crossing your boundaries, you need to enforce boundaries in your mind, not out loud. What are you doing that's allowing people in your life to cross over your boundaries? That's about you and your thoughts about yourself, allowing people to take advantage or assuming people will take advantage, and therefore they do. It's not about them. And enforcing it in the 3D does almost nothing. You've got to figure out why you're assuming people are going to take advantage in your mind. What's that about? Did you get abused when you were younger? Was there a lot of mistrust in your family? Couldn't you trust anybody in your family, and therefore you can't trust others to not cross your boundaries? Or you can't speak your truth and stand up for yourself, and therefore people walk all over you? I don't know what that is about. We should talk about self-concept and self-love tonight. Yes, we should. Because it is the most important thing, guys. I mean, I'm realizing it more and more that I had spent so much time concentrating on my SP and my relationship. And even though I'm telling you guys to do self-concept, I wasn't really. I was, but not enough. About myself. Can I manifest a house we can't afford right now? Yes, darling. Just imagine you live there. And how it comes about will come about. Don't worry about the not affording it and stop saying can't afford it. What are the best affirmations in this case? I don't know what you mean, Moody. Hang on. I'm going down. Can you talk a bit more about revising? Yes, so what you do is you go back to the scene of the incident that happened. Oh, thanks, Sandy. You go back to the scene of what happened and you change what they said or what they did. So you go up to the point of where it was about to go wrong, and then they say, oh, babe, I love you. I'll never leave you. And you go, oh, I love you too, instead of them leaving, right? And then you loop that. You think of it again, the imaginal scene. Okay. Then think of it again until it feels natural, Neville says. Until it feels natural, like that could have happened. That's revision. I've been doing manifesting my SP for about 4 months now, doing a lot of self-concept. Oh, I saw that one. Yes, thank you. What's Sunshine May? What are you saying thank you for? Any more questions, guys? I can't see any. Any questions? Hang on, guys. Just got a guy buying me headphones, self-concept on point. Oh, really? He bought them for you? Oh, that's brilliant, darling. Well done. Thanks so much for the coaching. I get so much attention now. Do you, my darling? Fantastic. Oh, it's working then. That self-concept is working. I asked a question. Oh, where is it, Pat? Sorry, guys. It probably disappeared when someone tried to call me because I'm on my phone because my Wi-Fi's gone to shit. He's not communicated with me at the moment. How do I keep from feeling doubtful? That's the hardest. So, guys, when they're not communicating with you, you've got to step into your power. You've got to get rid of the old story, but you've got to step into your power that you can change them, that you are running this shit, that you are the ultimate power, and they have to do what you assume. If you can't do that, it's going to be very difficult. When you assume they've got free will in your reality, you have to assume they don't. Okay? And start affirming for contact. All right? Step into the real feeling and keep affirming using that exact description. Oh, what are we talking about? Little J Powell? Honestly, I'd feel relief. It's been such a stressful time. I just want it sorted now. Oh, what are we talking about? I can't see it. I manifested a PS5 for free after affirming I get everything I want. Oh, wonderful. Yes, darling, I have manifested my SPX and SP in, SP out, SP in, SP out, and the X at the same time. But you've got to work on your self-concept, guys. Otherwise, it all goes to shit again. My SP and I talk a lot, but not fully together yet. How do I stop myself from saying I miss you? Oh, yeah, I saw that one. Thanks for your transparency. That's all right, Sandy. It is what it is. Let go and write the new story. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, that's the other thing you can say when you look at the 3D. Well, this is what it is. I don't really like it. It is what it is. Okay, now I'm writing a new story. So if some of you are having trouble pretending, living in the end, you know, that it's all been resolved, you can look at the 3D and say, okay, well, this is what it is, but in my mind, it's this. That's probably the best way to do it. Okay, or I'm changing it. To revise, you write it down and keep reading over it and imagine it, or you can imagine it or write it down. Either way, guys, but really, when you're writing down, you have to imagine it as well. You can't just write things down. You have to be thinking it. So really, imagining it is better. A short imaginal scene. Don't make it too long, like 30 seconds maximum. The best way to disregard the 3D is to know it doesn't have to be permanent, that you have control. Yes, that's lovely, batshit crazy, because it isn't permanent, guys. That's the shame about life, you know, when people get depressed and everything, they don't realise that this doesn't last forever. It doesn't. The 3D is not, it is temporary. Okay, so when you think that way, it will really help. Absolutely. I keep singing songs about manifesting everything I want to you, darling. I've decided I will not take no for an answer. Yes, that's wonderful, Amsterdam. Not sure this sent first time. Lol, wondering how does rewriting the old stories work? So really it's about looking at the story that you have originally, the old one, and changing everything about it if you can. If you can't do that and it seems too unrealistic to be like, oh, he never left me and da-da-da, you can go, well, this breakup happened, but I'm changing it now. This is what it's going to be. You can do that too, but I prefer to just pretend the whole thing never happened and revise the whole lot. That's how I do it. But, which is real revision, okay? Like rewriting the fairy tale version of your relationship with no breakup, no third party, no leaving, no yelling, no screaming, no nothing bad that happened. You can rewrite the old story of your childhood. Nothing bad happened. The fairy tale Disney version of your childhood too. Okay, and then concentrating on that new story, because your brain can't deal with a vacuum. It can't just get rid of the old story. You have to give it something to replace it with, like affirmations. That's why you're doing positive affirmations. You can't just make the negative thought go away. You have to replace the thought. Okay, so you're replacing the old story with the new story. And you can either imagine it a lot or read it a lot to concentrate on that being the new version of you, them, and the situation. Okay? That's how the new story works. Is the 3D basically something we manifested a while ago? So if we manifested it, we send it out. Yes, so it is delayed. So everything is based on your assumptions. So the 3D reality in front of you is based on, like, the way people are showing up in your reality is based on your assumptions about them. So not everyone shows up in your reality based on your assumptions, because you don't have assumptions about some people. Unless it's like all men in red shirts are arseholes, then all men in red shirts will be arseholes to you. But it's the people close to you, really, that show up with your manifestation, with your assumptions in mind. Okay? But the rest of it, just general people in general, you're not having assumptions about them. Unless it's like men are like this, women are like this, Asian people are like this, black people are like this, children are like this. And then they will show up with those general assumptions that you have. Okay? But really it's more about specifically people that you know and you have a history with. Or when you get in a relationship, your relationship history will dictate your assumptions about how that relationship's going to go. Does that make sense? And so then the reality shows up that way, and it is delayed. I haven't felt the need to be emotional around my SP since our chat. I'm so much more chilled. Oh, wonderful, Nikki. Oh, good, darling. Oh, that's wonderful. You're feeling much better in yourself emotionally. That's fantastic. That self-concept is definitely working. It's for my house. I need to buy it out, and it's 100,000. Yes, so don't assume you need the money for 100 grand. Don't assume you need the 100 grand. Assume you have your house. I love owning my house outright. I love that I own my house fully and completely. Start affirming that. Because you don't know how it's going to come about. Someone could give you the money, a relative could die, get inheritance. The mortgage company could say to you, oh, don't bother paying it for another 5 years. Anything could happen, but just assume you have it already paid and you live there fully and completely paid off. That's what you need to do. You need to stop worrying about the money. If you worry about how you're going to get the money, that's why it won't come about. Loz, I manifested a trip to Costa Rica by living in the inn. Did you, Miranda? Oh my God, I love it. What did you do? You imagined you were already there? That's fantastic. So guys, if you want to go on a trip somewhere, imagine you're already there. That's kind of what you do when you are planning a trip. You imagine what it's going to be like. Oh, that'd be good to go to that place. And that's why the trip always comes about. Because you've already lived in the inn when you're planning it. What's the feeling you will have if you own the house? Yes, exactly. How would you feel if you own the house fully? X, for example, I feel safe when I'm married to my SP. Yes, I feel safe. I feel wanted. I feel loved. Yep, beautiful. Do you have to revise, or can you just start from now? No, you don't have to revise, guys. Revision isn't necessary. A lot of people don't like it, don't like doing it, don't want to do it. You don't have to. You don't have to. I've been manifesting my SP for... Oh, I saw that. Any more questions, guys? I'm going to scroll down. Can't you also do revision by affirming? For example, I have always... Yes. Revise a breakup, something like... Where's the rest of it? Can't see it, but yes, you can by saying, I have always been loved and wanted. That's revising. Our relationship has always been perfect. It implies that you never broke up. So go back to where it went wrong and flip it to the desired outcome. Hello from Scotland. Yes, darling, to the desired outcome. Exactly. Does this ever become natural, like we don't have to keep affirming self-concept, but it's hardwired? Well, once it's in your brain, yes. But then look at someone like Jennifer Lopez. She says she has to tell herself constantly her affirmations. She never stops. Because based on her childhood, she has to keep doing it. Look at what's happening with her in her relationship at the moment. Clearly, she has issues with relationships because she's been married how many fucking times? Right? So sometimes you do have to keep at it. Especially if you've had depression or anxiety or whatever. It is a constant thing where you just want to think new thoughts. It's just new thoughts, guys. You've got to stop thinking of it as a chore and start thinking of it as just when my mind wanders, I think these things instead. It's really all it is. Loz, I've been doing tests on mini manifestations and it's working. SP is next. I'm fucking powerful. Oh, yay, Ellie. Yes, my darling. Look, the little tests are great to do because it really does make you feel powerful when you get that free coffee, the parking spot, someone buying you a gift, someone offering you to buy you lunch. It does make you feel good. You think, oh shit, I can do this. If I can do this, I can do that. If I can do this, I can do that. That's not that hard. I've been focusing so much on self-concept and so many guys are trying, just not the SP yet. So Power Flower, it means, like me, you haven't got rid of the old story. Okay, I remember when my SP and I broke up the second time, and this guy was at dinner, drinks that I used to like. And he used to like me and nothing came of it because he's married. Anyway, and he said to me, that guy should be afraid to lose you. He should be worried you're going to be snapped up. He should be afraid to lose you. And I thought, God, even this guy's still giving me attention, but my SP, it wasn't. And it was like my self-concept was improving, but not because of my old story, not with my SP. Okay? So you've got to get rid of the old story. If all those guys giving you attention, it means your old story about your specific person hasn't gone away yet and you're not seeing the new version of them completely. My SP didn't choose me like I wasn't worth a divorce. Any affirmations for this? What do you mean? My SP didn't choose me like I wasn't worth a divorce. What do you mean by Amsterdam? You didn't get married at all? Or they didn't want to divorce you? I don't understand that question. Please do give me that again. I don't get it. We have always been a happy, loving relationship. That's a wonderful one. Can you change physical acne scarring and double chin through manifestation? Yes, guys. My skin is so clear. My skin is so clear and smooth. I love my neckline. I love my jawline. My neck looks exactly how I want it to. Those kind of affirmations. Affirm that my Wi-Fi is working. Yes, I need to do that, don't I? I don't know what's going on. Sorry, Loz. It's the money for my house. Yes, saw it. You don't need the money. Just you need the house. Affirm for the house. What if I'm living in the end mentally, but I miss him physically being here, like holding him? Yeah, guys, well then imagine they're in bed with you. Imagine their smell. Imagine their body against you. Imagine they're there. Have inner conversations that they're here. You're not separate. Do inner conversations. Go and watch Katie at Create Your Future. Watch her videos. She does lovely videos about inner conversations with your SP as if they're here. Because they are. You're not separate. Okay? So say always, I feel relief because I own my house now. Yes, I feel so relieved I own my house now. That's a good one. It's good to associate a feeling with what you would feel if you got the thing. That's why Neville says, how would you feel if you were the man or woman you want to be? How would you feel? You don't have to conjure the feeling. It's just thinking, well, how would I feel? It's more thinking about how you would feel rather than conjuring the feeling, which is what LOA people teach you to do. I'm back with my SP, but he hasn't texted me in 2 days. Oh, you are, darling. Well, don't worry. It's only 2 fucking days. Stop freaking out. If you start freaking out and doing those weird emojis, then it will go to shit. Your thoughts will make it go to shit. Your thoughts will make them ghost you or block you or not text you for days. It's your thoughts that are causing them not to text you, guys. Stop doing that. Guys, you can get them back easily. The getting them back is not the hard part. It's the not freaking out when they come back. Are you getting this? You need to go hard on your self-concept, darling. Hard on your self-concept so you feel lovable. That's why he's back. If you're not feeling lovable, if you're not feeling loved, and not assuming he's back because he loves you, it'll all go to shit. Trust me. You have to assume they're back because they love you. You have to assume they're going to constantly contact you because they love you. And this is all going to work out beautifully. If your fears start kicking in, they'll start acting that way. You've got to take a handle on you and your self-concept and assume they love you. That's why they're back. I had anxiety and started crying at a restaurant and on our anniversary yesterday because it felt so awkward. Oh, darling. What, you were there with them or this is by yourself? Guys, look, feel the feelings. If it's an anniversary or their birthday and you're not in contact or something, cry it out, guys. It's hard. It is fucking hard. It's hard. Just cry it out. Let it go. Don't let it go out to the universe. Bullshit. Just let the feelings go out of you. If anyone is struggling, please book with Loz. She has changed me so much. Oh, Nikki, thank you. I need to change myself. Your skin looks amazing, Loz. Oh, it's the filter, guys. But thank you. If my manifest is to get 30 million this year via the lotto jackpot, how else can I get this amount? Guys, people are obsessed with winning lotto thinking it's the only way they can get the money. So if you honestly think it's the only way, it will be the only way. Why do you need specifically 30 million? I would ask you that. What would it matter if you got 2 million? Isn't that better than nothing? I know that's would go against what a lot of manifestation people say, but obsession with lotto is astounding to me. It means you think you can't get the money the other way. It's an obsession with a number that you feel like you would be happy if you had that. What about the $1 million, the 30 million, would make you feel content and happy? That's what you need to step into. The state of living in my beautiful home, the state of being eternally happy, the state of contentment, the state of relief, that there's no bills you need to pay. That's what you need to step into. You need to stop worrying about the fucking amount and start stepping into the state of a person who has everything they want and is content and satisfied and in a state of wealth. If you can't do that, you won't win the lotto ever. You also won't win the lotto if you're not in the state of winner. Okay, it's about your state, guys. It's not about the figure, the number. All right? God, my dog's gone mental outside. I feel depressed until I realise I have control over my reality. It makes me feel better. Yes, darling. The world is how you see it now. 5D is your thoughts. Yes, guys. Well, I don't know. I keep saying 5D. Maybe it's 4D. Some people say 4D. Some people say fifth dimension. But either way, it's your brain. I'm talking about your mind, your imagination. Do you rewrite the story multiple times or just once and reread the new story? Just once, guys. Or you can journal. You know, now this is happening. Now that's happening. Journal entry every night of what's going on now with your new story. If that helps you, but you don't have to rewrite the story you've already written. Okay. 10. Can you change the story as far as I met SP under different circumstances? Yes, you can. Change the circumstances under which you met them so that, God, I need to do that, so that doesn't run the story. Because I let the circumstances of meeting my SP about him being only newly separated really run the show of our relationship. It ran the entire relationship in my mind. I saw everything through that filter. Right? So really do change circumstances if that helps you. Absolutely. Hang on, guys. Scrolling down. Can you also do revision by affirming? For example, revise a breakup. Yes, you can. Any more questions, guys? Otherwise, I'm going to log off because I've got a few calls in a minute. Oh, 3 o'clock. And I've got life stuff to do, like paying bills in England and doing washing and going to the hairdressers. I haven't even booked myself in. I desperately need to. Any questions I've missed? All right, guys, I'm going to get going. So if you don't follow me, do follow me on TikTok. I go live twice daily. Please do follow go to the Facebook group Manifest Live with Loz. Join us. I save all the lives there. I will save some more lives today, guys, because I know that they're missing. And I will post some TikToks today, but I can't even add music. It's really annoying. So the TikToks that go up today probably won't have any music behind them because my Wi-Fi is not working and I can't add the music. But guys, please do follow me if you don't already. And if you want one-to-one coaching, please DM me. If you have DM me for one-to-one coaching in Messenger or Skype or Messenger or TikTok and I haven't got back to you, I promise I'm getting back to you today. If you've updated me since our call, I promise I'm getting back to you today. I finally have time. All right, guys. Thanks so much, guys. And I apologize that I was so broken at the beginning of the call, but I just wanted to, at the live, I just wanted to share that with you just in case you guys are having a similar problem. All right. And why I was so depressed yesterday on the last night's live. All right, guys. Love you so much and thank you for joining me. See you later.